Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again in this YouTube astrological segment. I'm going to be talking about the June 14th, 2022 Supermoon in Sagittarius, part 2 of 2. Now, it's important to look at the aspects that this makes to points in your chart, as this could impact its delineation and interpretation. Now, this is going to make an inconjunct aspect to my natal Taurus ascendant. Now, inconjuncts in astrology can often be about adjustments, and it can reflect too much or too little of something. The full moon, supermoon in Sagittarius, can manifest in a very powerful emotional need to expand the horizons and go outside the box, so to speak. Now, Taurus ascendant outwardly can be very intransigent and have a strong aversion to change, and the Sagittarius moon energy may feel like being adventurous and even traveling abroad. Taurus ascendant emphasizes being predictable and may be seen as even monotonous. Now, there can be a strong emotional exuberance and enthusiasm, which is the moon in Sagittarius, and you're talking about versus a very placid, stolid, and calm outward nature indicated by my Taurus ascendant. Now, the thing about this is the key is to find equilibrium and balance between the two. And maybe this could manifest in having a cautious optimism. Now, the supermoon is going to fall at 23 degrees Sagittarius. As far as saving symbols go, this could be some revelation or unveiling of a friendship that didn't quite meet one's expectations. The person may have deluded his or herself and been oblivious to negative qualities of the person. This could be a time where despondency connected with this may be counteracted, and it may be done through engaging in outdoor activities and or sports. And this degree may also manifest in having the positive mindset, which could result in positive outcomes. And it's really, and the degree can also be fortuitous if the person is cognizant of his or her abilities and acts on them and capitalizes on those abilities. Another thing, it's also important to look at the electional aspects this could impact its delineation and interpretation. Now, this is going to make a sextile to Saturn in Aquarius, and by itself the aspect could add discipline to the emotions. And if a person doesn't get, say, instantaneous results, the person can also understand, or I should say could understand this without being overly exasperated or disconsolate. The moon in Sagittarius can be a completion of something that's published. Now, Saturn in Aquarius can reflect laborious work on something associated with astrology, computers, innovation, electronics, or aviation as some examples. And this may be very auspicious for publishing something in connection with one of those topics. And the fact that this is a supermoon, it can be more intensified and amplified, and there may be more prosperity indicated by this. And another thing is that it's also important to look at other transits at this time to your chart, as this could of course they could be amplified and intensified because they're taking place at the same time as the supermoon. And with me, transit Saturn in Aquarius is going to make an inconjunct aspect to my natal Pluto in Virgo, which falls in the 5th house. Now, again, inconjuncts in astrology can often be about adjustments. It could be too much or too little of something. Now, transit Saturn in Aquarius in my 10th house could manifest in working laboriously on an astrology career. And my natal Pluto in Virgo in the 5th house can be expressed in much desire and passion, which is Pluto, in analytical and intellectual, which is Virgo, and amusement and enjoyment, which is the 5th house. Could also be extrapolating, which, let's say, could be connected with Virgo. It could be sports data. Sports is connected with the 5th house. And it may be too much laborious work in association with an astrology career, or too much obsessing over analytical and intellectual amusement and enjoyment. And the key for me may be to find equilibrium and balance between the two. Now, there's going to be, it's an IM Engineering South Expo held at the Charlotte Convention Center in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's going to be from June 14th to the 6th, June 16, 2022. And of course, the first day of that expo is that day of Supermoon in Sagittarius. Now, this is going to be a manufacturing and design event. Now, on the homepage of the event, it reads, quote, explore all 6 trade shows that share the expo floor, end quote. And exploration, of course, is associated with Sagittarius. One of the trade shows associated with its DNM South will feature its technology that is new, including likely advancements in 3D printing. Printing has a connection with Sagittarius. And keep in mind that this supermoon, in Sagittarius will be making a sextile to Saturn and Aquarius. Sagittarius again has a connection with printing, and Aquarius is associated with innovation. And another thing, on one of the other trade shows in this event is associated, is going to be, one of the other trade shows, it's going to be featured at this event. It's ATX South, I believe. We'll be talking about what I think are innovations in robotics. I think this could be reflective of the supermoon in Sagittarius, sextile Saturn and Aquarius. The supermoon in Sagittarius can give a powerful emotional need for expansion. Saturn and Aquarius can manifest in a career in robotics. Now, this is a very good blending of the two. With this happening at the time of the supermoon, these events may be much more successful than originally anticipated, and it may be a time of greater importance for many people that view the events. More people may be inspired to even start a career associated with the subjects that are talked about. Well, anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.